So I actually grew up in a family that we were kind of less active, but we were really on and off. It was really interesting. We only went to church for special occasions, and we'd go through these like spurts of like super active and go all the time, and then we just like never active. We never went to church, and we'd go like a couple years like that, and then a couple years like not going at all. And so it was just kind of an up and down kind of thing, I guess, with my family. I guess the difference between being active and less active is your burdens are a lot lighter when you're active in the church because you're relying more on Christ, as to where when you're not active in the church, you're not really relying on Christ. You're relying on your own strength and the own things that you feel like you need to take care of yourself, but in all reality, like you can't. You have to give some of that to Christ because He's our Savior, and He died for those specific things that we struggle with. And if we try to atone for our own sins or the own mistakes that we make in our life, we won't be able to. And so I think that was the biggest thing for me, is that I realized that I had been relying so much on myself rather than on Christ to help me out with a lot of things. I think happiness is a big thing. When I wasn't active in the church, I was kind of a sad person, but when I reached out and joined back into the church and started reading my scriptures and doing what we're supposed to, I felt happier and better. And I think you have more fun as a member. And people say that we have restraints and things that we can and can't do, and it makes life boring, but in all reality it makes life so much better and so much fun, because you find the good things to do and have fun and then not feel bad about it afterwards. So in Alma 32 it talks about the people who are compelled to be humble. That was me. I was compelled to be humble and change. And so I think that was my spiritual experience, being upset and sad and then coming to church and being happy, and then be like, oh, like this is how you're supposed to feel all the time. And so I was one of those people that were compelled to be humble and then was able to be humble and then change. So I had two friends that helped me to be active again. So they were kind of like me, well, except for one of them was always active, but I had another one. He actually left the church and then went to the Provo Temple and was looking at it, and then came back and realized that he needed to go on a mission. And so those two people helped me throughout my whole experience of coming back to the church, and they helped me stay active, because my one friend who had left the church and then came back had a real huge conviction for the sacrament and how important that was, and it was just really neat.